I've been calling this push pipe paradise in my head non-stop ever since I first heard about it, and I realized it's pipe push paradise. Interchangeable. All right, yeah. I mean, they both kind of work. It's fine. So we just played Campfire Cooking, another game that's kind of like Steven's Sausage Roll that also has alliteration, and Steven's Sausage Roll is also a game that had alliteration, and now we're playing Pipe Push Paradise that has alliteration, so that's like a thing? Is that a thing for Sokoban-ish type puzzle games? I'm making this realization right now, like live, that like, I played Steven's Sausage Roll, and then two games that came into my radar because of that game were Campfire Cooking and Pipe Push Paradise, and I'm like, is that a thing? Are there more games in this genre that have chosen to just choose to... There's nothing in there that I need to do. That just choose this alliteration thing? I don't even know. Oh, look at that art. Oh, look at it go. Oh, and it moves with the one you're selecting. Oh. Game's precious. I immediately like the presentation. The grain of the visual presentation on these menus, and then just the constant background piano. I almost said piano! The acoustic guitar. Okay, so we do move based on a grid. It's easy to kind of not notice at first for a moment there, but you're definitely like snapping to grids. Everything's got like a little bit of like a texture to it that's nice. At first glance, I looked at the boat and I'm like, oh, it's like cel-shaded, pure, flat color. Then I looked closer and I'm like, oh, there's a little texture of like the wood grain. So everything's got like a little thing going on with it. Okay, can I go in the house? Yes. Someone's playing solitaire on an abandoned computer and then fell asleep because solitaire is boring. That's about normal. Oh. X does undo of your last action. So does B? Yeah, B and X both undo your last action. Hey, you. I don't know if I can actually do anything in here besides just be here. Oh, there's a pipe. There's a pipe and I'm gonna have to push it to paradise. Okay, so maybe I can bring a pipe in here at some point. That's interesting. Immediately we're setting stuff up. Maybe. You made it. Thank you so much for coming. Did you have any trouble finding the island? Not much of a talker, huh? That's alright. Anyway, your uncle still hasn't woken up. He's been asleep for months. We've all been trying to pick up where we left off, but we're all very tired. I was hoping maybe it runs in the family plumbing. I hope this won't be a waste of your time. It just doesn't talk. So I'm here to fix the entire island's plumbing, apparently. Ah, God. Oh, that was terrifying. Don't do that to me. Okay, no, I was fine. I'll get used to it, but that was concerning. Ah. That's not... I wasn't ready for that. Alright, let's find what the reset button is. It's Y. Okay. Because yes, I'm playing on a controller. I don't like pressing WASD when I can use a D-pad instead, but, you know, to each their own, I guess. I don't exactly have to aim. I did a plumbing. Everyone had 1 out of 47. It vibrated angrily. Can't push those. Immediately I'm curious because this has some sort of like... They could have easily made a bunch of isolated maps where you just jump from puzzle to puzzle, but instead we have like a beautiful world that's all interconnected, and I'm wondering if that's going to actually come into the puzzles or not, or if it's just going to be there for the sake of it. Okay, so neither of these are facing the direction that they need to face in order to actually be pushed into those locations. So now I need to learn something about how these work. That's probably not my best call. That's probably not my best call either. Let's get these away from each other. Ah. That makes more sense. I have to deal with the fact that if I put it in the push it in the wrong spot, it won't be... There we go. You can't stick it against the wall because I don't think you can pull. So you have to be very careful about that stuff. Good. Thank goodness for the undo button, because there's a lot of mistakes to be made. Alright, plumbing it is. I wonder if 47's the whole game or not. Ripple effect. I'll never get used to that. I don't think. It's actually unnerving how it'll just, like, comes in that way. Well, we can't do this because it's stuck, so we have to push down first. Period. And now I'm creating a continuous chain, probably. Okay, I have to push this far just to be able to move into the room. Yeah, the question here is how am I going to get it to go in the right spot? I have an idea. Trying very hard not to get stuck against the wall. Can I just push you? There we go. As is often the case, when a thing changes state each time it moves, you can push it with an exterior object to make it not rotate, and that changes the outcome. A thing in both Steven's Sausage Roll and Campfire Cooking. I don't know if that's a larger genre conceit or not. Because Steven's Sausage Roll was basically my entry point into this genre, aside from, like, playing a Flash game for 5 minutes or something. But that's definitely an ongoing thing I can translate from Steven's Sausage Roll to Hookfire Camping to Pipe Push Paradise. Aha, I got it right that time. I had to look to my other monitor to see if the name, to see if it was still correct. Interesting. So very easy to push it together so that it will then work, plumbing-wise, but I'm stuck. And I think I can't... I can technically escape if I do that. But then if I get enough opening to get out, it will then be against the wall where I can't be pushed back into place. I would guess that if I push everything into place, then I can push this one back last. Can I push it out of the puzzle? I can't. I'm actually genuinely surprised you can't push it out of the puzzle. Oops. Oh cool, it doesn't restart. It stays where you left it. Huh. I am like immediately uncertain of what I'm gonna do. That I can push them like this together. Does the guy in the... He does. I was like, does the guy in the soundtrack make mistakes sometimes where he like drops his pick or like scrapes the chords? Totally does. I'm actually uncertain about what to do with this one. So I could push it forward with these potentially, which, while being a potential thing that's technically true, doesn't necessarily have any correlation with the actual solution to the puzzle. You know what? You know what? I'm falling into a trap, aren't I? I'm doing what they want me to do. They want me to take the starting structure for granted as if that's what the final solution is going to look like. But really, I should probably be making something else from scratch. That's why there's an extra piece. It's like a fake out. Yeah. I can make something way bigger. That's more or less it, right? Although this kind of introduces some of the same problems, doesn't it? How do I make this structure? I'm not getting caught inside. That's together. Okay, and then I can push this from the inside. Haha. That's why there was an extra piece. I latched onto this idea that maybe I'd be able to slide it out and use it for some sort of like meta progression thing in the actual overall map, but no. Oh my god, that entire face, that fence, I'm deleting fences with my mind, with my brain-solving skills. What are we gonna do? Nice one, bud. I said, nice one, bud. Seriously, you're doing great. How do you know? If you know so well how good plumbing is, then why don't you do it? Fast travel here anytime using the pause menu. Oh hey, it's the entire game. Possibly. Looks like the entire game. The top left corner sure looks like a boss fight, doesn't it? Like, not an actual boss fight, but like the concept of like a final encounter, final big, bad, nasty thing. Where are the difficulties? So, green circle is easy. 2 eyes in a house is medium, which is what No Escape was. Then there's hard and expert. And there's a guy out on an island in the middle of nowhere, doing his thing. Huh. Fast travel. Wasn't there an older guy here a second ago? Did I imagine that? Archway. Another medium puzzle. Okay, that's what I thought. Trying to tell if they were a single piece or not. The idea appears to be that you would connect them like this. Gotta push this away first. Okay, question answered. Question being, how do I rotate these? They rotate all the way across, surprisingly. Okay. Yeah, we're not done with you yet. So it would appear that if you push them on the side that would be the base of it when it rotates, it rotates, but if you push it from the other side, it doesn't rotate. You've actually, with these complicated pieces, you have more control over that kind of stuff than you sometimes do in these games. And to push you out of the way a little bit, I think. You do get... That does kind of trap you, doesn't it? That's the thing, is I could put them like that, push it back like that. Then this one becomes its own problem. The trick I did only really works on one side, doesn't it? Or maybe both. No, I'm looping now. I did this before. Yeah, I'm going through logic loops here. Because this trick of pushing it down and in only works on one side. You can't do it for both at once. What if the trick is to, like, push them together? Really doesn't help me actually finish this. It's so easy to solve the puzzle, so hard to actually be able to escape it afterwards. This is apparently going to be a theme in this game. This idea of how do you physically pull the thing towards a configuration while being able to leave. Am I falling for a trap? Oh, it occurs to me. So I was thinking, like, am I falling into a trap in terms of, like, I was wondering if maybe, I was falling for the same trap again where, like, I was making a false assumption about what structure was going to be, and it's not like last time, because last time there was a shape that, like, they blatantly set up the wrong structure for me, and then I was supposed to think of a different one instead. This one's 3D. Isn't it? That's the trick. You can make a 3D structure that still works. Oh, we are iterating quickly on ideas in this game. This is going to be a very dense 49 puzzles, apparently. Much like how Campfire Cooking was, actually, where it was a relatively short game, but it was so dense with ideas. Hey, I told him, Mom, I told him you would come. I didn't think you were gonna make it. He didn't think you were gonna make it. They can mine that for a lot of comedy, actually, if they just keep having the conversations where our character just doesn't respond, and that's the whole thing. 6-point turn. This one might be tough. So the idea is I have to slowly rotate it all the way around somehow so that it faces the correct way. And I'm not sure which order to rotate some of it in. This would be interesting. Oh man. The main thing is you want to make it roll to the left so that it faces the right direction, but instead you can't push it that way because it's against the wall, so you have to push it this way more or less. I believe it's the only way to continue. Yeah, and you can't like push it like here, or then there's no reason to push it back, so you do have to push it this way. Unlike the larger pieces, we have no control over its rotation if we press it in a certain direction, because pushing it at the joints or the straight part both make it do the same thing. From here, if I push it this way, it's stuck, so you have to do it this way. So all those steps are, I think, set in stone is what you have to do. Is that it? Oh, cool. No. Oh, it's so close to being done. If only I could push it one more to the right. Because one thing I'm considering is the idea of, like, what if I roll it onto its side this way, somewhere down here, then push it up one, and it'll have slightly more space to roll again, and then land where it needs to go, because you can't complete the rotation here. That's just a mechanic I'm missing or something. I think there's not. Preferably I come up with some way to make it rotate on its side. But be as far to the side as possible. Which is rough because I can only push and not pull. I don't think that's helping. Here. I had to go back a step from before I did that. I did have the right configuration, I just hadn't thought of it yet at that time. There we go. Buffer zone. Why do they call you buffer zone? That seemed like a good idea for a bit there, until I realized what I was doing. Still a problem. Yeah, how do I get you away from you now? So if I push down here, then it's all stuck. I can't get to the side because this pipe's still here. I can push you up and then you in, but there's no way to push the top pipe back without bringing this dumbbell-shaped one with it, leading it to still be stuck in the same spot. That's the challenge, huh? Is figuring out how to get those two unstuck. Or maybe there's a way to not get them stuck in the first place, but I'm not sure if that's the case. Thankfully, you can undo restarts. What am I missing here? Okay, so I can't push you down from the wall anymore. That could be the thing, and maybe before I hit the top wall, maybe that's the part where it stops working, so I need to get it to a slightly earlier point. Oh my god, how many steps was it? This is what I get for thinking in a way that shows you guys what I'm thinking. There we go. Except not, because now this happens. Except that happens. Yes. You can use that as a trick. Is that whenever you try to rotate it and it doesn't have time to rotate it, that then moves without rotating, which is good to know and good to use. Narrow pass, not marrow pass, that'd be darker. Problem, yeah. My, what big pipe you've got there. That's going to be thoroughly in my way. Trying to make sure I'm not making any assumptions. I'm pretty sure that the right angle has to be somewhere at the bottom of the screen. Because the top part is very narrow and against the wall, so the turn has to happen down here. I see no conceivable way to push this one up into here and then slide this one around, so this has to start by you getting out of the way, I believe. In which case, pushing you towards the wall is a mistake. Well, that raises a new problem. So if I'm not careful, this little guy gets stuck. Is there a day-night cycle? Is it getting bluer? I think the color scheme might be changing. Kind of do need to push you downward. How would I go about pushing that to the right at all? The solution probably involves, yeah, I'm pretty sure you just move that small piece to right before the ending point down there, because the joint wouldn't fit there if it's going to be the right angle. So yeah, it has to go there. The problem is you can't get it away from that wall unless you can get above it. You can't get above it, and you can't push it out and then move around it like that without getting around the big guy that's very much in the way. Dude, I think you have to push this no matter what. I can't push it that far down though or it gets stuck. If I push it all the way to the right, it gets stuck forever. If I push it like this, then the small one gets stuck forever and we instantly fail for good again. I see what's going on here. The trick is that that thing can stand up on either end, so I need to make it stand up on the other end. None of that was a good plan. Not really. I just make it stand up sideways. which I do somehow. Pretty sure I have to get above this no matter what in order to push it to the side and out of the way. Not that far. I think you have to go here. So I need to find a way to push this on its side. That just gets stuck. That gets it stuck. So pushing it this way was a mistake. It gets very stuck in every way. Man, we have some confined space here. That only traps everything. I just need to push it on its side, but the other side, not that one. Like, how could I be... Is there a mechanic I'm missing? Like, this completely traps it. If I could just get in there, I could push it once like this and we're good. Yeah, that's the problem. Oh, go down here and push you from here, right? But now it's true. Now I can't get up there. I just created the same problem for myself in a slightly more complicated way instead of that time. Good job, me. I think pushing it with the stick might be part of the puzzle in some way. Man, I'm making no progress, am I? I feel like a caveman hitting things with a stick, basically, as opposed to actually having ideas. My example of not making progress and not thinking was the was the example of how, like, all tools in society started. I guess that's inspirational. Thought I had a clever idea there, pushing it with the long stick. I did not, evidently. Alright, full focus on tiny thing. That thing's driving me crazy. Let's do the unintuitive thing and just push it up through here. No, it gets you stuck. Oh shit, coast is clear! Escape! Relief. It's gone. That's what I had to focus on. Now I still have the task of trying to flip this thing on its side, which is not necessarily the easiest thing in the world, but at least I can have a little freedom now, because if I move in certain directions I'm not trapping myself. But I still can't push it down here, because if it ever touches the bottom row, then I can't push it back up to be here where it has to be at the end. I still have some limitation to deal with here. I think I was on the right track with pushing this up. Probably. I can't push you in, though. No. Maybe if I push it one more time while I was up there. There we go. Because I can't push that into its slot or I won't be able to use it as a tool anymore, and I'm not done using it. Let's see, this traps me. Time to go slowly, crazy. May have been a tad fixated when I thought that that other thing was going to solve all my problems. I could roll you over. Then you just do that, and then it's trapped. But that's what- no, no, I'm already there. I'm done. Oh my god. It's over. I did it. Ah. That one was tough. I had to figure out which part of the puzzle to even, like, try to unpack first, because there were so many elements going on.